down into darkness. Open my eyes, let me see beauty that made, beauty that made this heart adore you. Hope of a life spent
out ill today, and we definitely miss her. I know last week they had to travel to Chicago, Detroit for the funeral, and she's ill today, so we've been missing her for a while, so we can't wait to see her back. But our praise team has done a wonderful job this morning. Amen. Amen. If you could turn to the book of Acts, chapter 18. In the book of Acts, you will find in the New Testament, you will find it behind the book of John, right after the Gospels. The book of Acts is a book of the history of the early church. When we say early church, the church right after Jesus has been crucified and has gone up into the heavens, and so forth, has risen from the grave and gone up into the heavens. The book of Acts gives us how are they doing after that, and the book of Acts also introduces us to a man named Paul. And I just wanted to focus on Paul today a little bit, and the title today is Ministry Can Be a Struggle. Ministry can be a struggle. Yesterday, our basketball team, our 8 and under, they have not won yet, but they get close. They play so much better every week. You can see the improvement. So I'm like, oh, it's 8 and under team. My 10 and under team. Yeah. Ministry can be a struggle. So yesterday, they played, and that's why I see a lot about ministry. They play. I'm trying to find my words. I have my words, but that's not right. They played. But we owned this team. Yesterday was tough. I mean, we were about 48 to 2 or 4. 48 to 4. It's a little rough score. They were trying to stop the clock. Why you stop the clock? Can't make the clock run. We good. It was 28 to 0 at halftime, right? 20 to 0. And the crowd got a little rowdy. You know, at the beginning, well, you know, no need to topping it up. We good. We gonna say we all right. But they topping up a little bit. And it was a rough day. Because we're dealing with issues of selfishness and maturity somewhat. But we're dealing with some sin issues, some trying to come out of some things. And then we got some folks that, you know, they going to leave it all out on the floor. I got Sister Donna and Brother Jason. They play. And I got Caleb for that energy. He don't look tired on that floor. He up and down that court. You're like, brother, you just started last week. You got all this energy, yes. But they still haven't come as a team. And I thought about, how did that look in the church? Because on that court, I think they felt very alone. Even with 5 individuals who wear the same jersey, I mean, playing so selfishly, you feel very alone, like I got to try to win this. We had kids start shooting like they were Steph Curry, but we're looking like, you know, Curry Rice. I don't know. Because when we try to shoot that ball, we couldn't get to the goal. Or it go like almost into the wall somewhere else. But they're trying to make it. But it was this isolation that started happening. And you can see that the children are trying, and you can see the coach are trying to reach the child, but now at certain points they are isolating themselves. And the thing that I want us to understand, that in ministry, and what Paul is facing, is that when he's coming to this place called Corinth, he's coming to a place where he's going to be isolated. See, and when I say ministry, I don't want you to understand, I don't want you to put it in just the context of a church on a Sunday morning. I want you to look at ministry as our life. How we on the job, how we driving our cars, wherever we go, it's all ministry. It's all ministry opportunities. We can delve into ministry, or we cannot be a part of ministry. We can say, I'm not going to do nothing for God, or you can say, I'm going to be in here with the Lord. But it's all ministry. Where you at your job, you should be ministering to those folks. And to be a minister is to serve. That's why we don't use reverend in here. You don't really hear that in our church, because I definitely want to build this culture, or have a culture where there's no one reverend, no one on a pedestal. We're all ministers. We're all supposed to serve. So here, Paul comes to Corinth, but Paul's been going through so much, he's isolated. He's come to a point where he's at a very lonely place in his life. I think a lot of us have been there in our ministries, where we felt a little alone at the job, just alone. Some of us, you may have a wonderful marriage, but it comes to a certain point where you feel, even in your marriage, you could be in a bed with somebody, you can feel alone. You got so much coming in your head, bothering you and so forth, and so much coming at you, you can feel alone. Sometimes at your job, you can be partnering with somebody, but even in that partnership, you feel alone, you feel isolated. But I want to come and tell you that God has a provision for you. Many times we feel alone and we feel like there's nothing going to happen, no change going to occur. So I feel not just alone, but I feel like I'm about to give up. I stopped the time for our church to have that serious prayer because those individuals feel alone. When I talked and discussed with them, they feel alone. I can tell you other people who have come and they feel alone. I want you to know, as pastor, there's been times where I have felt in isolation. It happens. If it happened to you, it's about to happen. Brother Transwell is interim CEO. I'm sure that's not a host of a crowd with you. Especially when you delve into leadership. You get any kind of promotion at your job. Now you all by yourself. The docket that I have now, I see less folks than I saw on my other parts. I'm in the jail all the time. I don't get to talk to really other colleagues. I'm talking to the people through the screen. I like to touch. I like to see people. So I'm seeing through the screen and the thing got an echo. Hello. How can you understand, brother? And my bailiff's on the other side. Well, Judge, they kind of do, but look like a Bruce Lee movie. I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there by myself trying to communicate, but I feel so alone as I'm trying to communicate. Some of us have felt alone in our prayers that we're trying to communicate to God. We feel alone. But I need you to know God has a provision. Look at it. We're in verse 1. Look at this. Let's go to chapter 18. It says, after these things, he left Athens and went to Corinth. He found a Jew named Aquila, native of Pontus, having recently came from Italy with his wife Priscilla, because of Claudius had commanded all the Jews to leave Rome. He came to them, and because he was of the same trade, he stayed with them, and they were working by trade. They were tent makers. And he was reasoning in the synagogue every Sabbath, trying to persuade Jews and Gentiles. The first thing, God provides their provision. The thing he's going to provide is partners. See, I know as pastor that I'm not doing this by myself. I can feel isolated. But the truth, this is the village. Now, sometimes I can feel like, well, I just got to do it out. Ooh, brothers and sisters, I be struggling. And then y'all like, you ain't got to do all the thing. Like, yeah. And I'm like, you're right. And I continue to do the same insanity cycle. I said, somebody did a real, It's all right. But it's true. So I said, this year I'm going to do better. This Israel economy's coming up, and we're trying to do something spectacular, massive. And I'm like, And I got in a bad cycle. I've been trying to start planning so I can just unleash it. But I already need to unleash it. I don't need to store it and keep writing and rewriting it and make adjustments. I need to unleash it to the folks that said, will you please take advantage of this? We still work with this. I need to just unleash it. Aunt Tricia last week looked at me like she was going to shoot me in my neck. Because it was something I should just gave to her. And she's like, well, why didn't you? I'm like, I'm sorry. I got like 5 million things on my plate and I just messed. I'm so sorry. Will you not assault me, please? You'll catch a felony. And she's like, I don't care about my felony. You know, that judge thing helps me out sometimes. But the thing about it was, I forgot God had given me a provision of partners. And meantime, we will not give because some of what we want to control. Some of it is like, I cannot trust. And then others, you have been disappointed before, and you don't want to be disappointed again. But all that leads back to God. See, because the thing is, if He's providing me partners, He's sometimes saying, yes, I'm going to let your partner fail so that they can grow and you can help them grow. All of us working together. Sometimes I'm allowing you to build your trust so you can build a circle. Sometimes I'm allowing people to just take things off your plate because I need you to do other things while they are doing that. This is why we have deacons in the first place. Deacons were created because there was too much on the plate of the apostles. So they said, we need to have deacons to take that off. So God says, I'm providing partners to your apostles. Let's be wise. So many of us pastors, even today, we'll try to do everything. We'll try to go find the property, get it signed, get the money, mop the floors. Many of y'all have seen me vacuum floors around here. Y'all seen me clean bathrooms. Not that it's not below or beneath or whatever, but someone else could be doing that while I'm doing something else. But I failed to even ask my partner. I failed to ask you. Sometimes we expect that people are going to jump up and do something because it's in your mind. But if I never tell you that I need this help, how do you know I need the help? If you always see me vacuuming floors, you might think, Pastor must like vacuuming floors. I mean, I'm cool about vacuuming floors, but I don't have to do it. See, I got to delegate better. I appreciate Brother Minister Jermaine in this season because Uncle Moses has been out, doing his surgery. And I was thinking I might have to drive this bus. And I'm going to tell you, I had anxiety about this bus driving. I'm like, oh, Lord, because I don't like driving big stuff. I do not drive. I don't want an Escalade. I feel like it's too big. I feel like I can't judge that. You're too close to me. Am I too, too big. I'll be the worst tank driver of all time. Our bus will always be late if I'm driving. So Mr. Jermaine steps up, he's driving, but I'm still on the bus with him. The truth is I don't need to be on the bus, but I enjoy being on the bus with him. But I need to delegate that. Do you understand? I know I personally need to understand that God has given me a provision of partners. There's no need for me to come down here and lead us in worship, am I right? Because Mr. Gallup does a great job. But if I don't say, if I come down here, I'm like, no, I got it. No, who are we doing the preaching to? You want to do the preaching too? And lead something? And you going to drive the bus? See, at a certain point, you are shortening your time and the quality of the work that you're doing. Because at a certain point, you're not trusting God. You're not trusting His provision. You are, in fact, saying, God, I got it. Because at a certain point, okay, you were disappointed. Okay, you need to trust. But at a certain point, now you're saying, I just want to control. You can't control this. You got to put it in God's hands. Because let's get down to the honest fact. When you have tried to control the issues in your life, sometimes they have come back, and most times come back worse than it was. Remember last week we talked about the woman with the issue? She spent all her money. She went to the doctor. She did all these things. And in fact, what she needed to do was just trust in God. That's how everything turned around. And that's the same thing with us. Ministry is a struggle. I would never tell anybody who jumps into ministry that it's easy. That people are going to be with you and one day they can say, hey, I'm doing such, bye. And that's all you can say. And you can feel the hurt and the pain. Or you say, hey, we're here one season together. God's been good to me. God will be good to you. And you move forward. So the first thing God provides us is partners. Now this is the next thing I need to understand. Now, if God will provide me with provision of partners, God is going to give me a provision to overcome fear. So okay, I see you said I was isolated, so I needed partners. But sometimes in our isolation, we will not move to the next level in our life because we are in fear. Look what God did. He gave him Silas that came down to, and I'm going to just jump down to verse 7. Then he left there and went to a house of a man named Titus Justus, a worshiper of God, who was housed next to the synagogue. And Crispus, the leader of the synagogue, believed in the Lord with his whole house. And many of the Corinthians when they heard, were believing and being baptized. And the Lord said to Paul, verse 9, in a night by vision, do not be afraid any longer, but go on speaking and do not be silent. Verse 10, for I am with you, and no man will attack you in order to harm you, for I have many people in the city. This is what I want you to understand. He gave us a provision of partnership, right? He did that. He gave us a provision of partnership. And then that, he even gave provision of financial support from the Philippians. But then he gets to this point. He says, I'm going to give you a provision to overcome fear. Because Paul had got to a point. He's preaching, but he has anxiety. He has fear. Some of us, when we wake up Monday morning, we'll have anxiety about the job that we're supposed to do. Because we're like, am I good enough for this? We have anxiety about the job. Can this job pay the bills that are coming in the door? We have anxiety. Am I going to be talked about? And can I withstand the scrutiny? Can I withstand the criticism? Can I withstand that? Can I do that? See, before he got there, God laid out before Paul, because of what you've been doing, look how this people can say. Because of what you've been doing, look at all the things that have been happening. I need you to understand in ministry, God ain't going to make you always look back at what he's done. He's going to let you look back at your fruit. If you start doubting what God's called you to be, he'll say, look at what I've already done in your life. Look what I've already done. Even in your doubt and your fear and the things that you're trying to overcome, I've been already working through that. So what would happen if you said, I'll be faithful and I will not walk in fear, but I'll walk in confidence? See, God is calling us for something more. And God is saying, don't walk in fear. Because why? Not because of your ability, not because of who you are, but because I am with you. So if you got to go to the boardroom, I'm with you. If you got to go talk to your boss, I'm with you. If you got to come into the parking lot of your job, if it's a garage or if it's a flat parking lot, or you got to get off the bus, whatever you got to do, I am with you. If you got to talk to your family today and go into your apartment, your house, wherever it should be, I am with you. And then we said, he didn't say folks will not attack you. He said they won't harm you. Okay. You're going to have some folks talk about you. Why he got that job? No, they should hire so-and-so. What did he do to get that job? Why is she here? You know she's only on contract. She's just a temporary worker. Why is she here? She's not really part of this family. Why is she here? They're going to attack you. We just sat outside, President's Day is coming up, and I said, why St. Louis got to be off? Because that's my one day of the year without anybody in my house except me. And now everybody going to be there too. I'm going to see, can I make that a work day so I can come in there, I can come on back home on Tuesday. But you know, we'll work it out. We see, we'll take a day off, won't we? We're going to take a day off Christmas, Easter. We'll take our days off. The message bombs, it didn't hit me until I did it. It made common sense. I never realized that the message bombs spice up on Christmas Day. Spice up. Every person I saw with the message bombs. I'm like, what? Christmas is the most joyous, happiest day. It is my favorite holiday. Why? And I'm talking to these brothers and sisters. She was talking to me wrong. Told her to put the ornament on the left. She won't put it on the right. So it was going to be was going to be. I said, brother, you might want to calm that down because you bring that to court and you are going to get a conviction. See, all that anger, all of that. But you see what I'm trying to really point to you is that the devil was busy on Christmas Day. The devil was busy on Sunday morning. It just misty outside. It ain't a downpour, but look how we are today. Yeah, it's cold, but we got coats. But look how we are today. It's just a little misty. It's not icy. It's just a little misty. But we at the house with a hot chocolate. Go get that Swiss chocolate, baby. Ain't no football on. I don't know what you could be watching. It's not like how we grew up with a cartoon. All it is in the morning is infomercial. I'm going to church. Ain't nothing to watch. And the same politics they don't keep talking about. They talk about the same thing we talked about 3 weeks ago. Then we talked about that 2 months ago. Then we talked about that 6 months ago. We're talking about the same thing. You could tape it. You could look like you were a mind reader. I know what they're going to say. But what we see outside, we use that as an excuse, and the enemy said, won't you just stay at the house today? Oh, you know you ain't got that much gas. Now, on Monday morning, you won't make it to work on your evening. You don't know if you have made it to the church. Somebody might say, hey, baby, let me give you $5. Something's in my spirit to tell you, give you $5 to get you a quarter of a tank. Because you know you get that at your job, ain't nobody want to help you. But somebody in your village is going to help you. But you allow the enemy, and you need this message, you allow the enemy to keep you at the house. You allow the enemy to let you stay in your bed. Some of us are in a bed of depression, of despair, of rejection. And he said to stay in that bed. Rest in that bed. And God said, I told you to get up. I told you to rise out of this bed. Because I gave you a provision of partnership in the church. And now I gave you a provision to overcome your fear. Because I told you I was with you. But you keep running back to the enemy. You keep running back to your comfort. You keep running back to your past. And I keep telling you, get up. I'm with you. I'm telling you, I got your hand. Let's walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I told you I will be with you. You should not fear anything because I'm your God. Who is with God? No man should fear. If I'm with God, who should I fear? So he gave me a provision of partnership. He gave me a provision to overcome. Now look at this. He's gonna give me, because he alluded to me. He said the folks gonna still attack. But he gets in this verse, and this is what we'll do today. He says in verse 12. 11. And he settled there 1 year and 6 months, teaching the word of God among them. Verse 12. But while Gallio was proconsul, the Jews with one accord rose up against Paul and brought him before the judgment seat, that's like court, and saying, this man persuades men to worship God contrary to law. And when Paul was about to open his mouth, he was about to speak, Gallio said to the Jews, if it were a matter of wrong or a vicious crime, O Jews, it would be reasonable for me to be put with you. But if there are questions about words, names, and your own law, look after it yourselves. I'm unwilling to be a judge on these matters. I want you to understand, there are going to be people who are going to try to present things against you, and God's going to say, because they went to a court of law, he basically said, they don't have nothing to do with me. Y'all bring some stuff in here that I have no jurisdiction over. So I should not rule and say I'm going to kick it out. There are going to be people that are going to try to slander your name, try to talk about you. Before you can even speak, God's going to already have a judgment, say, throw it out. See, Paul didn't get a chance to defend himself. He didn't have to defend himself because God was already defending him. I need you to understand, don't be worried about what See, it's called with prejudice. When you have with prejudice, you can't bring it back. It's done and over with. See, and then if you're in a criminal court, if you've been found not guilty, they can't bring that back to you. Why? Because that's called double jeopardy. I need you to understand, wherever your past was, Jesus found you not guilty by getting on the cross for you. That past can't come back on you unless you're going to keep bringing it with you. Stop double jeopardying yourself and let that go. Because God already found you not guilty by the blood of Christ. He already found you not guilty by raising his son from the dead. He already found you not guilty. He's giving you new life. But on the other side, that's that criminal side. On the other side, that civil side, that thing that take away your time and your money. He said, I'm going to do it with prejudice. I'm going to throw out the things they're trying to take from you. I'm going to throw out the things they're trying to take your time from you, your money from you, your love from you, your dreams from you. I'm going to throw that out of court with prejudice. So stop walking in fear. Yes, this life is a struggle, but God is with you. Be afraid of no man. Walk with energy. Walk with confidence. Walk with your head up. Because you're a child of the living Father. If you don't know Jesus this morning, I'm talking about a Jesus that loves you when you were yet a sinner. He loves you when you were yet broken. Wherever you at, wherever you in, my Jesus is bigger and stronger than your problem. He is a problem solver, but he gave his only life, his own life for you. And he wants you to come on home to him. Your Father is God. And that's God Almighty. The door of the church is about to open. I need you to understand it's a new day. We as Christians, you might have walked through some struggle this morning. Tell them it's all right. You might have walked through some struggle this morning. It's all right. Because God told me he'll renew my strength. So it's all right. God said he'll help you mount up with wings as eagles. Tell them it's all right. Say, I know everybody been talking about me, but they can't harm me because it's all right. Tell them that everything, every tear that I shed, it's all right. Because God's got me and held me and held me to my heart. God's got me. So I don't have to worry about what man said. I don't have to worry about my own situation said. I just got to be concerned where God is taking me. And I just need to be obedient and walk with no fear. Amen? Amen. Amen. The doors of the church are open. If you don't know Jesus, I say come on down this morning. And if you want to rededicate your life, I say come on down this morning. If you got a prayer request, come on down this morning. And if you want to join this ministry, I say you come on down this morning. Come down with no fear. Come down with no fear.